Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everyone on VC can hear us. My name is Dante Rayford, and on behalf of authors at Google and the Black Googler Network, I'm really excited to announce today's speaker, Mr. Baratunde Thurston. Baratunde is described as a politically active, tech-loving comedian. He currently serves as the director of digital for The Onion, and he's also the co-founder of Jack and Jill Politics. He is a DC native, graduated from Harvard University, and he currently lives in Brooklyn, New York. His first book, How to Be Black, which he's here to speak to us about today, was published this month, Black History Month, February 2012, by HarperCollins. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Baratunde Thurston.
What's up, everybody? Happy Black History Month. Give yourselves a round of applause for Black people. All people, but especially us. It's good to be here at the Googleplex. I saw some strange, you have like a sort of an ET type pod going on there, like these zipped up tents that people are working in. And then I met someone, she said she worked in people operations. And are you experimenting on the human genome? Like, it's just a little disconcerting. Basically, for those of you watching on video, this may be my last appearance in public. Tell my family I love them very much. I want to talk about blackness, the book, my life, a little bit of tech stuff, and wrap it all into one. And why don't we just get started with this? First, a little bit more background of who I am. I am a stand-up comic. I've been doing comedy for about 10 years. Started off in Boston and moved to New York 5 years ago. I co-founded this blog, Jack and Jill Politics. Started in the summer of 2006 with Cheryl Conti, and it's a blog about US politics, usually from a black perspective. The watermelon is our logo, and that symbolizes intelligence. Most smart people love watermelon, and that's really all that there is to it. If you see something else, you should get yourself checked out, because you have issues. You know, watermelon is just wonderful. I hosted a TV show on Discovery Science Channel a few years ago called Popular Science's Future Of, and it was really cool for me to be able to do this show. We traveled around the world looking at questions of how we might live in 10 to 20 years, future of sex, future of play, future of habitat. And what I learned most importantly is that in the future, all black people will be required to wear wetsuits. So make sure you get yours because supplies are running out. Global warming is coming. And then I work as director of digital for The Onion, America's finest news source. I've been there for over 4 years, and I've had a great time. My chief contribution, however, is to be every black person in all the images that The Onion uses in its journalism. In this case, I played Obama's hillbilly half-cousin, Cooter Obama, and threatened to derail his campaign. Obviously, Cooter did not succeed, and others are still attempting to derail the president. This is a very important aspect of my life. I do a lot of public service work, a lot of community service and sort of volunteer efforts. And the chief thing that I do is I live hate tweet the Twilight movies. And so what that means is, first of all, Twilight is a terrible, terrible thing. It's basically like a stalker positioned as an object of desire to convince young girls that they want to live this sort of life that's very, very destructive to their egos and self-esteem. And it's horrible for America and the world. So I try to do what I can. So opening weekends, I go to the theater, I sit in the back, and I live tweet the movie, but with hate. So I call it live hate tweeting. And it's amazing. I've convinced several people not to see it. It's been worth that investment of my time. I kind of feel like that teacher that wants to reach one student. You know, if you can just change one life. So if I could just convince one person not to spend $15 on garbage, then I've done my job as a citizen. So that's pretty cool. And then I've written this book, and that's what we're here to talk mostly about. The book is called How to Be Black. I have a very simple marketing message. If you don't buy the book, you're a racist. And that's just true. It's not like a thing. It's not a hook. It's not a scam. And it works. It works. We actually found out after the first week that we made the New York Times bestseller list. So guilt works, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend it. You guys should try it in your Google products, and for those of you at home, in your products as well. So before I keep going forward, I want to go back a little bit and tell you not just what I've been up to, but where I've come from. And I'll go back a couple of generations. This is an image of my great-grandfather, Benjamin Lonesome, born in 1870 in Caroline County, Virginia, born a slave, taught himself to read as the family story goes, moved to Washington, D.C. Now, some of you are thinking, wait, born a slave after the Emancipation Proclamation? Government doesn't always work, ladies and gentlemen. Government doesn't always work. And decrees are not always adhered to. But he moved to D.C. and he worked for the city, and he lived to be quite old, actually. And he had two daughters, one of whom was Lorraine Martin, who I didn't find out until 2005 that she was the first black employee in the U.S. Supreme Court building. And we found all these clips and our mom's stuff. Our mom had passed away, and so we're going through trying to figure out what to keep and what not. We're like, we have this great family history we did not know about. Now, our grandmother was a very proud woman. She's pretty well educated for the time. She traveled a lot more than was normal for black people of the era. She did not necessarily spend a lot of her own time raising her own daughter, and she had this really adorable daughter. This is my mother, Baratunde Thurston. You can see where my cuteness comes from. And so our grandmother sent our mother off to boarding school at age 8 in a little town called Cornwalls Heights, Pennsylvania. At the time, it was a rural farming community. Now it's a thriving suburb of Philadelphia. And my mother had some trouble adjusting to this environment. Little black girl away from her home in the city, cast off into an all-black Catholic boarding school. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went to this boarding school. He was not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the time he went there. I'm not sure they would have admitted him if he had been. But my mother had some tough times at the school, so tough that she wrote letters back to her mother. And I want to share just one of them that my sister and I found. This is a letter in the 8-year-old handwriting sent from a daughter to her mother. Dear mother, I am having fun, but I do not like it here. I am mad at you. Please send me some cookies, very important, and a Sparkle Plenty doll. Sparkle Plenty was his character, very, very popular back in the 40s and 50s. Please, they can have dolls here. Please send it because I do not have anything to play with. Yours truly, Arnita. So it's an adorable, sad letter from a daughter to her mother, but I want you to focus on the lower left corner of this letter. There's very neat handwriting, very different font, different color scheme. It says over. And when you flip the letter over, you see this note, which says, if your little girl is dissatisfied, we'd be glad to have her bed for children who are anxious to come. Signed, Sister. Which is sort of like the NSA wiretapping of, 1948. You gotta protect the nation from little black girls that want dolls and cookies. It's very much a threat to the nation. So my mother did not stay long at that school, but she did stay within the confines of what was expected of a modern Negro woman. This is her as a teenager, wearing a dress below the knees, carrying a basket, probably full of happy feelings about America. I'm sure it was in that basket. She worked in our high school newspaper, but before long, her social network changed, and she started hanging out with people that looked like this. This is a dude named El Dorado. Like the car. And there are many people in the world who think they're cool. Some people watching this right now think you're cool, or know people who are cool. You're not. Your friends aren't. This dude, El Dorado, is the last cool person to ever have existed. Look at the shoes, look at the phone, look at the typewriter, the pants, the hair. Everything about this picture is cool. Cool is now an historical relic thanks to the high bar El Dorado set. But my mom didn't stop there. She started getting political. She was joining rallies. She was out in the streets. This is an African Liberation Day parade outside of Malcolm X Park in Washington, D.C., headed south on 16th Street Northwest. And right in the thick of it is my mom. Because the revolution may not be televised, but it could be photographed. You want your hair done up right. You want the eyes focused on the camera. Now, when I was born, my mother did not leave these politics behind. She very much infused them with me. And a lot of kids had little books when they were young. You had cartoons, you had See Spot Run and stuff like that. I didn't have that. This is my first book, pretty much, called This Is Apartheid. I had another book called Africa is not a country, it's a continent. And when you are raised with this, like stark black and white photos of apartheid, it maybe has a little effect on you as a young person whose mind is being molded. Now, outside of our house was a very different picture. This was the constant view from our front window on Newton Street in the Columbia Heights neighborhood of Washington, D.C. Lots of drug dealing stuff going on, very much like The Wire. When The Wire came out, I was traumatized and excited. It's like, I love this show, but I have flashbacks because my neighborhood was just like The Wire. You know, we had the drug dealing, the police corruption, we had everything The Wire had, right, except for universal critical acclaim and the undying love of white people who saw it. Our neighborhood did not have that, but otherwise it was very similar to The Wire. So my mom helped navigate me and my sister through this environment, and we had this very proud moment at my college graduation from Harvard, and she gave me this big hug and said, "We did it!" And my sister is so proud of capturing this moment. She's like, "I'm the best photographer ever." And so that's kind of where I have come from, and it's the foundation of what this book is and kind of this conversation that I want to start off with you guys here today. So let me talk about how the book was born, first of all. There's a lot of the personal stuff in there, but there's also like a tech story too, and I think it's pretty interesting to be talking about that at Google. The book was born on Twitter via a hashtag, and essentially I was shopping for wine, and I didn't know how to buy wine. There's all this history of wine and flavors and the air of frankincense or what. I don't know how to do all that stuff. And I was also not interested in learning. So I just wanted a bottle of wine. I went through the shop and I saw this brand of wine called Negro Amaro. N-E-G. Oh, we're gonna have to riot now, aren't we? This is a Black History Month. A black man can't speak at Google without some white guy talking loudly over top of him. This is ridiculous. I got 29 days, man. Come on. You can interrupt me in March, I will not complain. Anyway, I was talking about my ignorant wine purchasing decisions. And so I saw this brand of wine called Negro Amaro. I was like, that spoke to me. Negro wine, this is perfect. That's why I'm gonna buy it. And so I posted to Twitter, and I was trying to antagonize my friend Elon James White, who's a great comedian, does a web series called This Week in Blackness and Blacking It Up. And I said, this weekend I picked my red wine because it was called Negro Amaro. That's how black I am. Elon James, how black are you? I was just sort of picking the fights, playing a little joning back and forth, and then he responded, I see the subtle racial implications of Thundercats. Panthro is black, shirtless, and Lion-O's driver. How black are you? And so we went back and forth volleying, and hundreds of other people weighed in and threw their own observations on how black are you. And in the audience for this was a member of the HarperCollins team, a woman named Debbie Steer, and she brought me in, and we had a nice conversation. They said, you should write a book. Why don't you write a book called How Black Are You? And I was like, why don't I not do that? That is a terrible idea. Because it was one thing to have that conversation and that tension and that battle between two people who know each other, two people who are comedians, and we have assumed the best intentions. I didn't want to hit America with that. I didn't trust America with that. I just had visions of watermelon dancing in my head. And like people were like, how black are you? I drink grape soda all the time. I was like, no. America's not ready for how black are you at the Walmart bookshelf. Like, we can't do that just yet. We have some ways to go. But they said, well, what about how to be black? And I was like, yes, that is ridiculous. You can't answer that, thus I want to try. And be satirical about it, which gives me some latitude, and just have fun with the impossible. And so the book was gonna be a series of how-to chapters. The first one was how to speak for all black people, and how to be the black friend, how to be the black employee, which clearly you guys may have an interest in. Tell us how to do it. It's coming. Just buy the book. But there was another part of the sort of the product development of the book that I want to share, what was not expected. And I want to talk about the role that email played. So I had this vision of, I'm going to write just a straight up satire, set of chapters on how to. Separate from this, I operate an email list, and I've been doing it for years. I thought email was dead. I was like, oh, Facebook's here, and Google Plus is here, and Twitter's here. Nobody reads email anymore. But because we live in such a fast-paced sort of status update sphere, I wanted to have a deeper relationship with the people who wanted a connection with me. So the email became more of a behind the scenes. And rather than just promoting shows and doing a few one-liner jokes, I said, every email I send, I want to have a true personal story as a part of it. And so the same summer that I was doing the initial rounds of writing this book, separate from that, I was sharing these personal stories with my email list. And one story I shared, which really struck a nerve, I told the story of my father's murder and what my memory of him was. And I've really only had 6 memories of this dude. He died when I was very young. He didn't live with us, even for the time when he was alive. And I sent this out. I was on a bus. I was on a Bolt bus to Boston, like a $15 bus, on the Wi-Fi, banged this out in a couple hours, sent it off. And the flood of responses that came back from my subscribers was overwhelming. And one of those subscribers was my editor at the time, Debbie Steer. And she wrote, "This needs to go into the book." And she's like, all these stories are just too rich. You can't not use them. And I know it's not part of the original vision, but maybe we need to rethink what this book should be. So she said, just write those. Don't worry about the super hilarious stuff. This was still funny. Even the piece I wrote about my father's murder by gunshot was still darkly hilarious, if you're open to that, and which I was. I've been doing this for a while. So I reconceived of what the book should be, and personal memoir actually became the heart of it. So let's talk about what's inside between these pages, between these bytes on the electronic version. First stop, it is my life. It is the story of a young black dude who has an eccentric black background, and not just black background. Obviously, there's more to me than black, but there's that story that people have heard a lot of, that inner city, single mother, gun violence and drugs thing. That's one. There's the Afrocentric rearing, the fact that I have a Nigerian name and I'm not Nigerian. I remember I had a friend who was Nigerian when I was growing up, and I called him on the phone, and his Nigerian father answered. And he was like, "Hello, who's calling?" I was like, "Oh, sir, this is Baratunde." I might have been like 12 years old. "Where did you get that name?" I was like, how do you even answer that? First of all, I got it, I don't know, the secret stash of names that I mine? I got it from my parents. He's like, "Well, do you even know what it means?" And I was like, "Yeah." And this I was really proud because I have this super Afrocentric mother. She was like, "You have to understand all this stuff." And I was like, literally, it means grandfather returns or father returns or one who is chosen. And he was like, "No, no, it means grandfather returns or one who is chosen." It's like, I just said that. You know how adults can be with respect to children. They can't hear you. But then he went on a rampage. He was like, "This is the problem with you African Americans. You have no history, no culture, no roots. You think you can wear a dashiki, steal an African name, and become African? You cannot." I was like, dude, I just learned how to add last week. Like, slow down. Why are you hating on me? I'm a baby. Pick the fight with somebody your own ignorance. So the book has stories like that. It also has a lot of the how-tos, and there's how to be the next black president. It's one of my favorite chapters. A lot of restrictions around President Obama, especially in his relationship to black America and black people. Certain issues he can't really talk about because they think he's going to reinstitute white slavery. Yes, I said reinstitute. We tried it once. It lasted for a day. And so there's, some guidelines for the next black president. Also the theory being that the second black president really is the first black president, because the second time around, America's doing it super intentional. Like, we know what we're going to get. So number 2 is actually number 1. And then I created a panel, and I didn't want to interview too many people. So I picked 7 folks. I called them the black panel, people I thought were doing blackness well and differently than what we commonly see. And so here's who's on that panel. It's 3 black women, starting with Damali Ayo. Damali is a performance artist and a writer. She wrote a book called Obamistan, Land Without Racism. I came across her in about 2003 when I was just early in my own stand-up career, and I found this website called rentanegro.com. And I was like, what in the world is that? And it was this hilarious satirical product offering where she's like, look, white people have a lot of questions of their black friends. We need to monetize this and set up some sort of leasing system So she had rentanegro.com, she had prices, she had all this stuff. She was inspired by this other dude, Keith Obadike, who tried to auction off his blackness on eBay and sold it for not enough money. So Damala is like, she gotta be in the book, gotta be in the book. Turns out we also went to the same high school, went to Sidwell Friends. I didn't even know that until we started talking. Cheryl Conti, she is the co-founder with me of Jack and Jill Politics, based in the Bay Area, runs a social media strategy firm. Jaquetta Zatmari, she was someone I did not know at all. A friend connected me to her. A black woman, lives up in Riverside in the Bronx, libertarian, and grew up in the Eastern Shore of Maryland. She was like my rural vector. I was like, okay, good, let's not keep it too city focused. And she had a bunch of great stories to share. And then I had 3 black men. I had Kamal Bell, who's a Bay Area comedian. Yay, please clap for Kamal. I like this dude. I remember hearing about it because people kept saying like I was the Kamau of the East or he was the Baratunde of the West. Like, why can't black dudes just be each other? Like, why do you have to? But he has a great one-man show called the W. Kamau Bell Curve, which is a play off of the Bell Curve book by Charles Murray, who incidentally, Charles Murray has a new book out about whiteness, and I love that he launched it during Black History Month. Just couldn't let us have it, right? Anyway, Kamal's show, the subtitle is Ending Racism in About an Hour, and he puts his money where his mouth is. If you show up with a friend of a different race, you get it in for half price, and so that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Elon James White, who I mentioned earlier, Brooklyn-based comedian, This Week in Blackness and Blacking It Up, web shows, and Derek Ashong, who is a musician primarily, but also a speaker and a TV host. He has a band called Soulfesh. He works for Al Jazeera English. And Derek, for me, also represented a bit of the diaspora because he was born in Ghana. He was raised in all around the Middle East, in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and he spent his teen years and after in the East Coast, in the Philadelphia and New Jersey area. So he was kind of that global brother. And then I had one white guy on the panel because I didn't want to get hit with charges of reverse racism. And I wanted a control group because this is a science project as well. And so I picked the whitest guy I could find, who was Christian Lander, who's the author of Stuff White People Like, and helped create that amazing site. And I really wanted the idea of a white Canadian commenting on how to be black was just too good to not try. And he came through. So what I want to share now is some of the questions that I asked these people. I asked them, when did you first realize you were black? How black are you? Did you ever wish you weren't black? Can you swim? Very important question. How's that post-racial thing working out for you? And what do you wish for the future of black people and race in general in America? So 7 people, 7 questions. It's a nice grid of 49 clips. And then what I did is I video recorded them and I also used a Zoom audio mic to get some good audio. And so here is a sample of one of those clips. Oh, I should press play. This is a compilation around one of the answers.
So I came home and I remember I couldn't really move past the entrance of the house, and I needed to talk about the fact that this little girl said that I was black and that I, in fact, found myself to be beige.
I was playing doctor with a bunch of kids, and this one girl, it was her turn to kiss me, and she didn't, and she sort of ran away laughing, and the other kids ran away laughing, and the thing I realized at that point that I was black and they were all white, because this was a small private school in Boston, and that was the first time I remember feeling like black was somehow separate from the norm. You know, I think I knew I was black before then, because as I say in my show, my mom would not have let me not know I was black. There would have been no way that she would have let that information slip. It's cold outside, take a jacket, and you're black.
I was born in Africa, so everybody's black. So we don't really think about it like that. I mean, here you go like, yeah, oh, so is he black? Is he white? Is he black? Is he black? Black? Africa, like, you don't ask. The assumption is that you're black. Therefore, what becomes more important is other things. What your name is, where do you come from, what language do you speak, what's your culture, what's your tribe, etc. So I didn't know I was black. When I was 8, I moved to the Middle East. I think the Middle East is the first time I discovered I was black. Because people will come up to you and they'll be like, oh, yes.
And what does that translate to?
That means, oh, this is a black guy.
I grew up in East Chinatown in Toronto, so it was made very clear that I was Guaylo from a very early.
Guaylo being
White ghost. Sort of, I know every derogatory term for a white person in Chinese.
So that's some of what people have to say in the book. In the enhanced version, we have a lot of those clips built in, and in the audio version, instead of me reading their words, you actually hear them saying what they said. And you can hear the background of the neighborhoods they live in. I really wanted it to be an audio experience. I did the reading myself as well, because black people can read now. It's pretty awesome. So I want to talk about that process, the book, get a little behind the scenes of the writing process. And this is the sort of the loop that I came up with. I tried to write this book in the summer of 2010. I sort of missed my target. I told you about the re-engineering around memoir. And so summer of 2011 was it. I had a drop dead deadline, July 15. And those last 4 weeks, this was all I did. I woke up, I ate, I wrote, I biked into work, I took a break, I wrote, I took another break, I wrote, I biked home, and kind of wash, rinse, repeat. I also wanted to play with the community of people who knew this book was coming, folks who were interested in what I had to do, and so I was trying to use the web in some interesting ways. So when I did the interviews, I would check in on Foursquare and use the hashtag #HowToBeBlack. I was sharing snippets of what I wrote on Facebook and on my Google Plus page. And so this was a chapter I wrote about what it means, how to be the black employee. And folks were just really, we had a lot of good feedback on that early moment, even as I was writing. I was like, okay, is this going to work? Sort of my How to Be Black beta project. I also got some amazing feedback. And I want to share just a few slices of what people had to say as they looked over my virtual shoulder. Someone said, this book is clearly not written for black folks. It's too wordy and there's no pictures. That was one of my Facebook fans who wrote that. So I wrote her back and saying, can someone please translate this for me? I can't understand it without pictures. So that was pretty interesting. Someone else wrote, this book is solely based on ignorance. Martin Luther King Jr. would be ashamed if he read this. Good job on setting us back 50 years, Dick. There's a lot to unpack from there. First of all, he has a direct channel with the ghost of Martin Luther King, which I think is amazing. Like, we haven't heard from this dude before. I also like that he called me a dick. That's really nice. That's really nice. But mostly I like the way he spelled solely, S-O-U-L-Y, which is kind of black. And I was like, maybe I should listen to this dude. Maybe the public knows more than me about this. I got an email from a friend of mine during this process. His name's Anand Giridharadas. He's a New York Times columnist, written a book called India Calling. He's become a very good friend. And he said, I have an amazing idea for you. As a publicity stunt, create a public writing viewing for your final day of writing the book using this screen sharing service called join.me. You can share your screen with the world. And so I did that. I actually, when he wrote, I wrote him back immediately a really long email explaining why this was a terrible idea and no author should ever do this. But as I wrote those words, I convinced myself otherwise and decided to give it a shot. And so I called it my live writing exercise. And I was remembering a friend of mine who does sort of live painting, Mark Sheff, and he allows you to see him actually paint digitally using a Wacom tablet. And I've seen stuff like that with construction, but never with words. I hadn't seen someone do that before. So when people came, this is the screen that they would see. I had a little billboard explaining what was going on. You were watching at Baratunde Write, How to Be Black, keep that hashtag going. Please don't, and I'm not gonna be chatting with you. A lot of people are trying to take control of my machine because you're gonna have that happen. And I wanna help you. I'm like, no, this is still me writing. You get to watch, right? You get to watch. So they started chatting with each other as I generally ignored them. I did take one major tip from this audience. I had a chapter called Going Back to Africa, which is about my first trip to Senegal when I was in high school, and someone said, you should call it Going Black to Africa. And I was like, obviously I should, and so I did. And I don't know who that was. It was like chat user 0056, but they get a little credit for making the book even blacker. So this is what people had to say as they were in the chat room. This is really what the internet is all about. Gives me a connection with the author. How self-obsessed does one have to be to set something like this up? The answer is very. I have a lot of self-love. Update them to theme, and I'll leave you alone. A lot of folks were obsessed with typos during live writing. I'm like, I will go back and fix those. We have editors and copy editors. Like, please don't get caught up on it. But a lot of people have a little OCD about the spelling. I've watched cartoonists before, but this is very different. Just the little I've read here makes me want to buy this book. Yes, good. I should follow up and make sure they did it. They weren't just lying. I have an urge to tweet about this. Good. It's interesting to see his writing flow. I'm surprised to see Baratunde use semicolons, which again, I'm like, why? Is it because I'm black? Like, I don't understand. Like, am I not supposed to use semicolons, or is it something that I project into the world where you just know from my writing and my tweets and my stand-up, this dude doesn't use semicolons. What's he up to? Somebody else is writing this book. Somebody in Norway was watching, which I love because that's a super white nation. And so like he's gonna get a little direct access to blackness. This is my favorite comment by far though. My girlfriend is Chinese and I'm half Jamaican, half regular black. So let's just pause on regular black. Like you got black zero, diet black, you know what I'm saying? Like, black macchiato, like I just want regular black. I think our kids might end up Dominican or something. Which is cool because when you look at the projections of demographics and intermarrying, like everybody will kind of look Dominican, Puerto Rican, light-skinned Indian. It's pretty. We're all gonna. How to be brown is really what I should have wrote. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a plan for the future, future-proof my book. And so then finally, I want to talk about kind of taking the spirit of all that, the life that this is wrapped around, the way it was written in a semi-open fashion. I wanted the marketing to be a bit different and a bit extra from what might typically be done. So Harper and I developed a really good partnership. They got a lot of great media for me and with me. I was able to do Terry Gross, Fresh Air, which is just like, she's my hero. She is this big, by the way. I almost destroyed her by like sitting on her. Terry Gross is the tiniest person, so I would almost have to apologize to the world. But the first thing we did, well behind the scenes, is set up a virtual street team. And I had taken some cues from Seth Godin around this and wanted to tweak it for our own campaign. So we recruited people, got over 100 folks to sign up to help spread the message of the book in their own way. So they got the book early. I wanted them to blog about it. And they were not all black. This is international crew, men and women, and Asian and Latin American and all kinds of folks able to find a connection with some of these stories because the story, black is sort of the variable, how to be is the ultimate heart of the story. I contacted everybody I knew. This is Miss Cleo, for those who don't know. And I was just like dialing for dollars. It's very much a political campaign metaphor for this whole thing. And I'm still reaching out one by one. I talked to an author, talked to Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm like, what's the one thing you think I should do? And he said, well, did I ask you to buy my book? And I was like, nope. He's like, that was a miss. He's like, you have all these followers. We're actually friends. I didn't hit you up personally. The one thing you can do that be most effective in getting your book out there is to talk to people one-on-one and just do it. Do the hard work. It's sort of shoe leather. We got a little crazy, and I have, working with someone, I hired an assistant to help me through this whole process. His title is campaign manager, again, sticking with the theme. He's white, so his nickname is White Shadow. And we were talking on Skype. I was traveling overseas. I'm like, yo, why don't we create a black card? Like, wouldn't it be crazy if we created a black card? And he's like, yes, that would be crazy. And but we did it. We actually did it. So if you go to gotblackness.com, we printed up a bunch of these. It's a plastic card with a magnetic strip on it. There's a QR code. There's a concierge line to call up with all your racial questions. And here's what the card does. It's sort of, one, it gets you 24/7 access to the White House so long as there's a black president. So there's an incentive to reelect Obama. Two, you get out of police custody for any racially motivated holding. They stop and frisk and stuff like that. I know you guys have issues in the Bay Area with that. Just flash your black card. You can win any racial argument if you violently slam the card down on the table. And you're declared an official friend to black people. So it's a really cool, flexible model, and you gotta activate it through text messaging. We use like if this, then that to help us with it. It's insane, actually. And in fact, you know what? Let me just show you. I'm gonna go over to the live thing. right? So here's, let me just show you some of our members. So Ron Williams, Ron J. Williams, CEO of Nodes, a startup out of Brooklyn. He says, I could never get a cab to take me to Brooklyn due to the color of my skin. Now that I have the black card and a phalanx of lawyers trained by the ghost of Johnny Cochran, I get justice. Newt Gingrich, temporarily popular U.S. politician. I make outlandish comments about black people with almost no consequences. It's because I'm a proud holder of the black card. I never leave home without it. Now get off those food stamps, Negroes. And then this is really adorable. This is a young member. There's no age restriction, no ageism in the black card. This is Cormac, who is a white child. I'm 3 years old. Thanks to the black card, I will never know a life filled with white guilt. Doesn't your child deserve the same opportunity I get? So, people can apply for membership in this card. It's a very exclusive program. But I'm very proud of what we've been able to do there to kind of spread blackness. And we're doing a lot of live events, talks like this, throwing launch parties, and trying to keep the theme very black in the party. So in DC, I'm doing an after party at a bar called Blackbird. We got Black Grouse Whiskey co-sponsoring, Brooklyn Beer, Black Chocolate Stout. So just all black everything is the theme of that. And we have, actually, this is very important, there are 2 versions of the book. There's a black cover with white text and a white cover with black text. If you order online, you don't know which one you're going to get, and you can't request a specific one. We've actually developed, I think you guys at Google will be very proud of this, a racial profiling algorithm that determines which book you need most and delivers that one to you. So for folks who insist, like, I really want a white version, I really want a black version, just keep ordering the books until you get the one you want. People of mixed race or other race, like, which one am I supposed to get? You're supposed to buy both. So it's a very pro-growth program around this book. And we set up this website, howtobeblack.me, where every day during February and probably beyond, we're asking the same questions that are shared in those chapters to the public. When did you first realize you were black? How black are you? And the stuff people are saying, again, is pretty amazing. Here's a few I queued up. I'm a graduating senior, black female, mechanical engineering major from Georgia Tech, and I cannot swim. This is another story that someone shared. I realized I was black when they asked me to crip walk. All right. I literally scared the heck out of folks who have never seen a black brother that far out in the ocean. Right? Sort of like black spotting, I guess. I don't know what that is. You from Brooklyn and you don't like rap? You ain't black. So people sharing all these stories, and we want to kind of keep that going well beyond the book. The book's not supposed to be some final chapter, sort of a party that we want to invite everybody to. This photo, by the way, was shot by Neil Brennan. He co-created the Chappelle Show. He's a stand-up comic. I gave him the book. He went down into the New York subway, and he was like mobbed by these 4 black dudes. Like, what are you holding? What is that? And so they're inspecting. And I like the dude in the back far right, who clearly already knows how to be black and is not interested at all. So that is my formal presentation. I'd love to take your questions, and we can all get a little blacker. I'm Baratunde, and thank you.
I was talking to Joe, and then he's like, I think they got it working.
It started working as soon as you walked out. He didn't want you to be black. That's why he stopped it. Stopped it immediately.
What is going on here? Hot mic. Oh, please say something racist. Please. Please. Somebody's going to lose their job today. Oh. Yeah, there's for those in the room, mic right there. Please use that. Ask all your blackness questions.
I'm going to apologize for my ignorance. I don't get the swimming joke.
You know what? That's a good point. She said, I don't get the swimming joke. I have an answer, but does any black person here want to address that? Because we can go peer to peer on this, please. But go over to the mic. Go over to the mic. Please he'll hand you the mic. Don't talk yet. Don't talk yet. And when you answer, say your name if you're comfortable. If not, you can hide behind your blackness.
It's okay, don't be ashamed. My name's Elika, and I work in Android for the Google Music Store. So one of the things, I think the main things that keeps black people from swimming so much, so most black people, I think, grow up not learning how to swim. I think one of the main things that keeps us from learning is our hair. And that was a big impediment for me. But fortunately, my mom put braids in my hair and she put me in the pool and made me get swim lessons. But I had girlfriends later, I would try to get to go to the pool. They were like, my mom just pressed my hair, or I did this, or, got a jerry curl, So all kind of things with hair that, really keep a lot of black people from learning. And I guess also just fear of sharks, maybe, So I don't know, but I kind of break some of those barriers, but, some people still are.
Thank you. Do you have an addendum to this? Yeah.
My name is Judith Williams. I work on the diversity team here at Google, and I'm probably a little bit older than a lot of you here. So you might not remember, but Howard Cosell, who was a sports journalist, he made this famous comment about how black people can't swim because we sink. And that caused a huge uproar. So for me, that's one of the reasons why it's funny.
There is thank you very much. Thank you both. I like that we crowdsourced that a little bit. There's also, in terms of the economics of it, there's been a historical lack of access to pools or segregation around pools that I think has seeped into the community a little bit over time. I asked this question of people. We have the video on the site, but Jaquetta she grew up on the Eastern Shore. She's like, you can't not swim. You live right next to the ocean and something could happen. I want to know how to do it. So she was outlandish in that way. Kamau proudly knew how to swim, but he said, I can't float very well. He said, I'm 6'2", 250 pounds, built for slavery and the revolution. So that is very important to keep in mind as well. If you're built for the revolution, you might be slower in the water. Any other questions or comments? Yeah.
Okay, I'm here again. So I know that you're an alum of my alma mater. And
which one are we talking?
Harvard.
Harvard, cool.
And one of the things that I found was when I was at Harvard, there was a lot of pulling the black card, shall we say, or challenges. And I'm wondering how your experiences at Black Student at Harvard might have informed some of your later stand-up and this book and the things that you talk about.
Yeah, so I have a chapter in the book called Being Black at Harvard. I had a good preparation for the Harvard environment. I went to boot camp, also known as private white high school. And I went to Sidwell Friends School, where the Obama daughters go, where Chelsea Clinton was 2 years behind me. And that was my big cultural adjustment. I've been in DC public schools before then. My neighborhood was all black and Latino. There were 2 white kids in my class in grade school. One was William, one was Wilhelmina. So as far as I knew, all white people had the same name. So Sidwell was culture shock. I had Ebonics when I showed up. I asked people questions. It was a very long road. I've gotten through it now. I've got treatment. And so Harvard for me was very liberating because I'd gone through the whole process of being the minority in an educational institution. Harvard certainly keeps changing in the types of black people that go there too. At the time I was there, I think half to just slightly majority were not American native black, but were immigrants from some other place, from the Caribbean, from across the diaspora. That changes things. That changes things culturally. You also have people many more people over the history of Harvard who've had a private school background, mixing with those from a public school background, mixing with those from a diasporic background. So I was one of those dudes that hung out with the blackety black crowd and sat at the black table, but also I talked to white people because they were there and had knowledge in their brains that I wanted and friendship in their hearts. So I think I had a pretty idealized experience because I was so very prepared. I don't know that everyone had that experience. I think everybody's got their own college experience too, but I would like to think that the mix of the type of black people in each Harvard class over time contributes to a little bit less of the black card pulling, except for mine, which I hope to monetize and get all those people to invest using the black card. Thank you. Anybody else? Step right up.
Right. Name is Biola.
Biola, hello.
Yeah. So I understand you have an Arabic name and a British name as well.
Yeah. What's up? Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you ever have to pull out the black card to validate your blackness?
I don't have to pull out the black card yet. I think people can just sense that I have it in my wallet. My middle name is Rafiq, R-A-F-I-Q, which means friend or companion. And my last name is Thurston, which means that was the guy that owned my people. But my name the Baratunde Rafiq in combination is supposed to mean kingly companion. That was what my mother was going for. And I don't really have patience for the black card being pulled thing. And I know I'm black. And I think the self-knowledge and the confidence to not be buffeted by the external pressures from all kinds of people. You know, there's this weird identity matrix, right? Where there's like who you are and who the world expects you to be. Whether you're a woman, whether you're black, whether you're gay, whether you're white dude, whatever, there's always a gap in those things. And within the black matrix, there's inside the black community, you're not black enough because you're not thug or hood or whatever, or you're not black enough because you don't hate white people enough, because you're not radically political enough. Like Derek had a great story about some folks in the new Black Panther Party in Boston saying he's not black enough. And he's like, I'm from Africa. You cannot out-black me. I win. I always win. You know, it's just like, so, and then from externally, you know, non-black to black, those same switches exist. There's like a mux, right, with all these different channels of blackness. And I think what I hope will happen and what I sort of see happening, though I'm in a little bit of a bubble myself, is that in part because of tech, in part because we can put out new images of what black is, we don't have to just rely on the mainstream MTV commercialized vision of the archetypes, sassy black woman. Like, you can be more than that. You know what I'm saying? Thugged out dude. And I am wearing a hoodie, but I'm clearly not very thug. So, because a thug would never say I'm clearly not very thug with that inflection, you know? So as we are able to project more of our full selves out into the world and sort of compete with those images and demonstrate that there's a market for it, you have Awkward Black Girl, Black Nerd Comedy, This Week in Blackness as examples, we can close that gap a little bit more and have our black cards called a lot less. Yeah.
Hello, thank you. My name is Chastity.
Hello, Chastity.
And I onboard all of our new employees here at Google. And your visit couldn't be more timely because I'm in an argument with my boyfriend.
Whoa, okay.
Over something like, wait, let me explain.
Please explain.
To give you background, I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hold on, we got a little racism happening now. Just a smidgen of...
So I'm from Portland, he's from Philly. We have two completely different backgrounds. Yeah. But last night, we were watching the episode of The Chappelle Show. There was a segment where he brings people on and he asks them questions. I think it's like, how well do you know black people or something like that. Yeah. And so he'd ask someone, what's a Lucy? And so my boyfriend would turn to me and say, babe, what's a Lucy? And I'd be like, I don't know. And so the next question was like a character on Good Times that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But who is that? I was like, I don't know. So then he asked me one more question.
Yeah.
And I yelled at him. I was like, I don't know. And so we got into this argument, and he says that it's not his fault that I am insecure about my blackness or lack thereof. So what I need from you, this isn't a question, it's more of a request.
Yeah.
I need something that I can say to counter him when I go see him today. I need your help.
Yeah.
It'd be better if you could just tweet him and just play him in front of all of the world. But if not,
wow,
that's
you are asking me, first of all, I think this is a fascinating moment. And I kind of respect your gusto and your boldness because I don't know your boyfriend. And I don't know his side of your story. And you're asking me to violate potential bro code here. Which he's from Philly, like I have mad love for Philly. I'm from the East Coast, so I'm not trying to, do all that. What I will share, though, you've reminded me of a fun story from the book, from Jaquetta. And again, she's the Eastern Shore, Maryland native. And she's like, I don't understand black folk from Chicago and LA. Like, I don't know what they're saying when they talk because it's just a different language. It's a different community. She's like, we need some kind of translation, some kind of app to help one type of black person talk to another type. So if the book does well enough, I will be proud to announce the Negretta Stone app, which would allow like inter-black communication. And maybe you and your boyfriend can be our beta testers.
So just let me know when it comes out.
Because I hope your relationship can withstand this.
We'll see. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, there are good things in the relationship too, right? Is this only the only thing you do? Okay.
There are good things.
You actually like him, like he smells good, like all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
My goodness, Chastity.
Thank you. Just poking
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah. Tell him to take it easy on you, though. Tell him to take it easy. Best as I can see, you're black. And I'm kind of an authority because I've been black for over 30 years. How we doing? Anybody else going once? Are the remote people allowed to talk? Yes. Anybody on the Google Hangout? If you're talking, we cannot hear you, just so you know. Ping Camille. What did that mean? I just yelled out words. That could have launched something. What did you do? It's like Ender's Game or something up in here. I just wiped out a race. Some secret Google hack.
Austin has a question.
Austin, okay, you can relay them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Oh, hooray. One question, it's a little off topic, but I saw that you are an editor for The Onion and just wanted to get your experience on what that was like working with that group.
Yes, I've been at The Onion. I still am at The Onion. Thanks for firing me with your use of tense. What was it like to have that job you used to have that you don't know you don't have anymore? By the way, I have your job. I've been at The Onion since, we can maybe mute him, VC people. He's like coughing or dying or something, and I just need him to die quietly so I can answer his question. Maybe his kids can hear it. I've been at The Onion since the fall of 2007. I was hired on as politics editor initially to help plot and plan and coordinate our election coverage, and also web editor to help bring us into the future digitally even more than we already were. My title now is Director of Digital. I made up that title because it sounded better, and it has DOD, which sounds pretty badass, and I like badass job titles. So it's been amazing. I mean, I do love working there. I've been into comedy for a very long time. I've been doing stand-up for over a decade. Being at one of the premier comedy institutions the world has to offer has been great. And to be able to kind of play on this line between journalism and comedy and satire and all, it's just very fun. We're sort of in the same throes of digital essence and like, what does it mean to be a content company in the interwebs, and are able to kind of mock that, but also participate in it in really fun ways. And they provide healthcare, which is amazing. The healthcare isn't amazing, it's okay. But the fact that I have it is awesome in America. Yeah.
So we have a question from Tanisha, who's pinging from someplace here in
somewhere black, I'm guessing.
I'm asking you if you've ever considered appearing on an episode of Awkward Black Girl or helping them write material for their website.
That's funny. It reminds me of a question. I'll probably will answer that, but I want to tell this story instead. When I was doing my stand-up thing, people were like, "Yo, have you ever considered being on like the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, or maybe you should do like SNL or something?" I'm like, maybe I should have dreams and pursue them. Thank you. So I have not. It would never occur to me to like presume upon her show, Issa Rae, but I'm a big fan of the show, and I'd be happy to make an appearance, Issa. So if you want me on your show, no pressure, but everybody on the internet would watch it. I don't know. You should watch the show. I think it's kind of a weird question, but I chose to answer it the way that I did, and now it's part of the permanent record. Good. Who else? Anyone else? Yes.
I have a question. Good afternoon. My name is Charlotte. First of all, thank you for coming. I think you're hilarious.
Thank
I was
you.
a little bit wary when I saw the calendar invite, because I was like, okay, this guy gonna tell me how to be black. I think I already know how to do that. But
you don't need nobody to tell me how to be black.
It's been really great, so thank you. My question is, since you are apparently a foremost expert on blackness, I wanted to know, in your opinion, what is it that makes someone black? Because like Chastity was mentioning, culture varies depending on where you live. Like if you don't speak a certain way, people might feel like you're not black enough, and really it's not even skin tone anymore, because my cousin, looks like a white girl. So I just wanted to know, is there one thing that makes somebody black, or is it kind of hard to define?
Ooh, what makes someone black? Black parents help. At least one. I would never say that it's some checklist of cultural markers and knowledge, because that's a falsely limiting thing. I mean, but we also know that scientifically speaking, there's no such thing as race, right? If you want to go to the genetic thing and try to define it that way, it's in between those two falsehoods. There is a truth of blackness, which is some history, which is some phenotypical set of things, some, but not exclusively. You have very white-looking black people. You have very black-looking white people. No, you don't have any black-looking white people. But yeah, the idea, I also want to be very careful of this idea that anyone can just declare themselves to be black. I remember there was a rap group, maybe in the early 90s, young black teenagers, and they're like, blackness isn't a race, it's a state of mind, man. It's like, no, it's not. You can't just write yourself in as a candidate for blackness. And that level of flexibility is a little dangerous. But we're in some magical times where those cultural markers are open to so many people with the popularity of entertainment, especially hip hop. Hip hop is such a global culture, started very black, but has grown far beyond that. But being into rap doesn't make you black. It makes you being into hip hop. It doesn't change your race. So this book doesn't make anyone black. It can make you a little blacker, I think, by sharing some of a black experience that you may not have heard about and having some fun with it. So I'm gonna ramble through that answer and say there's no measure of black to be in and out. You kind of know it if you are, and if you're not, then that's cool too. Yeah. You might be the last one. Yeah, you are the last one.
I am the last one.
Make it amazing.
Oh gosh, the pressure. I don't know if it is, but I'll see. I'm Mary, and I grew up in a predominantly white area.
Yeah.
There was about 5 black families. And
out of how many?
Oh, I don't know, like 30,000, you know.
Oh, wow.
It's Central Coast, San Luis Obispo County. I don't know if you guys know where that is.
Okay.
And I grew up in a beach town. I don't know how to swim. I know.
Just a moment of silence.
I try. But anyway, my parents always taught me to speak to other black people. So if I see other black people, maybe it was because it was predominantly white, we speak to each other, we say hi, And my white friends always find it funny, because they don't walk around saying hi to each other. And, and then I think the younger generation, because I'm older, so who said they were oldest in the room? I bet I'm older. But anyway.
She left. I think it was her nap
She was
time
too
or
old.
something like that.
Kidding. And so the younger people don't do it. And so sometimes I'll say hi, and they're like, And so I was just wondering, did you grow up doing that, or have you, or were you raised to do that?
Great question. Great closing question. I did grow up acknowledging other black people. I still acknowledge other black people. I think the folks who don't do that, I think it's very regional. And in my experience, when I moved from DC to Boston, I encountered a level of coldness in the city that I'd never experienced. I was always told New York is a really rough and cold town, and Boston is much more distant, much more insider, outsider, not just among black people, but all people. People don't say hi on the street in Boston. Like, what do you want? It's like, just a human connection. You came to the wrong city. Get out. Go back south. So I actually write about this in How to Be the Black Friend. And I say one of the keys, the premise of this being you are a black person who is one of, if not the only minority in a group of non-black people, especially white people. You have an obligation to acknowledge other black people because you're on a mission. You're basically an undercover agent, and you're delivering messages and communication. You're learning. You're preventing a race war by telling your white friends not to touch your hair or use the N-word. But if you don't acknowledge other black people, it raises suspicions about your commitment to the cause. So I was always raised to at least the head nod, just a little something. Maybe one of these, if we're really, if it's the day, if we reach the moment when it's okay, it's on, and you got the memo, let's do it. Or just a smile, just even subtle eye contact. So I have not experienced much of black people who are comfortable being black people, not acknowledging other black people. I think I have seen it among some who are I'm kind of undercover here. I don't want people to know that I'm black. So keep doing it. We will try to train the younger generation to stay on message and on mission. I am going to end my talk on this. Thank you, Google. Thank you, black people. Thank you, all people. I'm Baratunde.